Okay, good morning everybody. I hope that you're well and I hope that you are safe wherever you're tuning in from. I know that this is a training within the UK, but we do get lots of business owners from different countries listening in. So wherever you are tuning in from today, I hope that you get lots out of this session. We've got a great training planned and you're not just going to be spending time with me this morning. We also have two other speakers who are joining me who will be sharing their story and their reflection around 4CC and how developing a 4CC success habit for them personally has led them through the marketing plan. So you're going to hear a story this morning from someone who's only been in the business a few months, and then you're going to hear a story of a manager who's used this habit of really working hard on 4CC and being clear about the power, what can be duplicated when more people in a team are doing for, and how that can really strengthen up a manager business to lead to incentives. So it doesn't really matter where you are in the marketing plan at the moment for this training. It might be that you're brand new to the company. We're busy at the moment with lots of new joiners. So if you have joined us and you've started your journey with us here in May, welcome. You know, you've joined at a great time and you're part of a fantastic company working with an amazing range of products, but also some lovely people and people who want to work together so that we can all really fly together. So I will be able to have a little look at Q&A as we go through. Now, I won't be looking and checking in on that while we're in the middle of training, but my commitment to you is, as we reach the end of the session, that I will have a look at the Q&A. So you can use that box. What I would ask you to do, if you can, is just to go with the training, because very often a lot of questions are answered as we move through the training session, and it might be by the end, you know, a few of your questions are answered, and then you might be left with one or two particular things that you're keen to know more about. So my name is Gemma Easdon, and many of us have probably met before. Maybe we're building a business really closely together, but if we have not met before, my background is working in the retailing industry. So I came from an industry that, like many at the minute, is wobbling. You know, it was quite wobbly on the high street pre-COVID-19. What COVID-19 is doing is really accelerating the rate of change, the rate of people losing their jobs, and it's certainly accelerating the level of uncertainty in the marketplace. And I suppose for me, 7 years ago in 2013, my reflections are very similar to what many people who aren't part of our business are going through at the minute. You know, I was questioning what my future looked like, not because I was unhappy in my job, far from it. I loved what I did, but I was very mindful that redundancies back then were starting to happen within retail. And I suppose, you know, I was also at a point where in my 20s, I worked incredibly hard doing whatever I needed to do to climb the corporate ladder. And I sacrificed a lot of my own health to progress in my career. But by the time I hit my 30s, I thought, this is probably going to be okay for another 5 or 10 years tops. But after that, that's not a sustainable way to keep building my life. So balance, you know, that special phrase, work-life balance, that's what I was craving. So when I looked at forever, I could see a way of really flexibly building up a business in the background while I was still working. And I knew that if I was prepared to follow First Steps to Manage a Book, which, you know, we all got it in our business box. It's still a document that I do still refer to most days. I knew that if I followed that and was prepared to understand and to work hard to develop a 4CC habit, that my business would grow. And over time, through work in the business building cycle, it would then lead me to some extra choices that I was looking for. Now, I am not, and I kind of make no apologies for this, I am not the trainer on this training this morning who is going to say to you, I've done 4CC every month from the off. So I want to start by this morning saying, look, hands up. Yes, I'm a Sapphire manager within the business. Yes, I've been a consistent chairman's bonus qualifier every year since starting the business. I've helped other kind of people come in and lead, get to manager and beyond, but I'm not somebody who from month one always did 4cc. And I think it's important that I share that before we get into the detail of this morning's training, because maybe you, like me, have been at a point in your business where you've missed a month, or you haven't quite got there yet, or you're doing it but you're scraping it and it's uncomfortable, and every month it's like, oh, here we go again. I've been there, and what happened for me when I joined Forever was I got to supervisor quickly. I got to supervisor in about 8 weeks, and it was in the autumn of 2013 when I joined. So a bit of my own Christmas shopping, family Christmas shopping, excitement got me to supervisor. But I'd run out of steam the following month. So in the December, I think I did 1cc of personal. And I gave myself a bit of a hard time, but what I really accepted at that point was I hadn't understood fully what I needed to do to create duplicatable ways of working. And I wasn't really thinking about a sale of a product as a relationship with a customer which could develop over time. You know, so I had a little bit of work to do in that December to, first of all, commit to, do I want a great business or not? Do I want a future with Forever? Do I want to explore? You know, maybe you're at a place where you're lacking a bit of belief, but you at least want to go and explore what the future looks like. So for me, I had to decide. I had to make a decision, first of all, that I was all in with the time I had available at that time to build a stronger and healthier business with Forever. Now, all in looks different for each and every one of us, and that will be determined by the time you have available. It might be that you've got 5 hours to put in, you might have 10 hours, you might be taking advantage if you're currently furloughed, or you are somebody who is working from home, or you've got more time on your hands. It might be this has been your period of time through COVID-19 to say, I'm going to invest more time into my business. So the first change, I suppose, for me personally, when I started to really master the importance of 4cc and doing it more comfortably, was I made a decision that I was all in on learning how to do that well. And that was a new skill that I had to develop. I hadn't done that before. Nobody in my job or in my life up until joining Forever had shown me, or I'd never had experience doing the activity that I needed to do. So I had to be quite accepting and patient that the more I do the plan, the activity plan within the First Steps to Manager book, and stick to the basics and follow that business building cycle, that as long as I brought a commitment and I brought a consistent work ethic and I was maximizing the time I had available to do the income generating stuff, that the result would come. So the decision was the first thing that changed. And then the second thing that changed was making a decision to keep doing it, to not be distracted and to keep doing it, and accepting that the more you do something, the more comfortable it gets. When we get comfortable doing something, our confidence grows. You know, and I do always say, I believe there is a direct correlation between your CC personal activity and your belief and your confidence. You know, there's been many a time over my career with Forever in the last 7 years where self-doubt has kicked in, or self-confidence has just started to wobble. But do you know the best tonic that I've always found is work a bit harder. take a bit more action, because it takes us out of our mind into productive action, and it totally eradicates the procrastination. So very often, getting to 4cc, maintaining 4cc, or if you're at that level and you're ready to say, I want to duplicate this, or I really want to test the boundaries on what my performance is. You know, I do 4 comfortably, so I want to explore 8s or 10s or 12s, or, you know, whatever the number is for you. It is, I believe, about make a decision about where you want to go, and then let's settle in for the long haul. Let's settle in for the long haul, doing the basics, doing them brilliantly, and as long as we're prepared to put the work in and we're clear about what we want to achieve, very often it happens a bit quicker than sometimes what we think it is going to happen. So this morning, I'd love to together have a look at the options for 4cc. And we'll first have a little look at what are the options if you're just going to retail products. Forever always gives us a choice of what style of business we create. For some of us, it's about being part of this business so we can enjoy a greater discount off the products. For some of us, it is about sharing products with our loved ones and with people in our smaller network. And that might allow you to have an income that funds your own personal use. For you, your style of business might be, I want to use the products and develop my 20 regular customers and to earn a few £100 a month, and to do that consistently, using as little as 5 hours a week. For you, this might be a style of business which is to build into manager, so that you can start to help other people be paid for using and sharing our products. Maybe your goal board, if you've got a goal board, or the vision you have for your future, comes with a price tag of an extra £800 to £2,000 a month. And if that is the case, then it's certainly deciding that if forever's your vehicle, manager is where you're going. It doesn't really matter where you are now, it's about where we want to go to, and then we get laser focused on where you are now so we can take the steps in that direction. Now, the style of business you might have currently or you want to have in the future is maybe a business developer style business, where you're not only a manager in your own right, but you're starting to help other people follow in your footsteps. And this is what's going to allow you to unlock a royalty style income, an income that comes with no limitation, that is very much based around how hard you're prepared to work, but also the size of your heart. The size of your heart for helping other people take this opportunity and our proven blueprint to create their success. Now, of course, getting to manager will always unlock stacks, like stacks. And the biggest reward it brings is you get access to the products at a 48% discount. So for your own personal use, you're saving a lot of money. If you are sharing products, you know, you're being paid more for doing the same work. But what it also does is it opens up a whole range of incentives. And this morning, I'm not going to talk about those incentives, but what I would say is if I've said anything within this training so far that has pricked your interest, or maybe it's made you think, I need to just commit to that. I need to give this a bit more attention, or do you know, I am going to be more patient with the business and trust that if I put the effort in and follow the systems, I'm going to get there. I'd urge you to put half an hour to one side to look at the forever incentives. You know, make that an appointment with yourself at some point this week, as soon as possible, to look at what forever has to offer. And it's using the incentives as the stepping stones to help you build. And one of the first stepping stones, if you're somebody who is work in progress to get to 4cc or to master the habit of month in, month out doing 4, or helping people do that, is really get clear on the level 1, level 2 and level 3 incentive pins for 4cc, but also the networking incentive pin. Very often we overlook those, but they're significant. They're significant because it's a foundation for your business to be strong and to duplicate. So let's have a little look at the slides together. So what you can see on screen, and I have to say a huge thank you to Forever Island, because there was a digital masterclass on Saturday and these products featured on that digital masterclass, and they've very kindly said, yes, you can use some of those slides to support your content. So thank you, Island, for that. These are the top products that are selling in lockdown. Now, there's probably no surprises there. And if you think about your own business now, if you've been with us for 4 weeks or more, just have a little reflect on your own personal habits or what your new or your regular customers want. And the powerful duo that I always say are a perfect pairing in COVID, the hand soap and the propolis cream for hand care. No surprise why they are up there as top products in lockdown. The C9, you know, one of our best selling products that is game changing for people's health. And we have started a company campaign that started yesterday. We're on day 2. We're superbly supported at the moment with a daily giveaway for customers and FBOs where people can hashtag every single day. So I think it's great that not only have we got a good product, we've got the company who are giving us some fabulous marketing materials, some exposure. You know, there was a live with Christina Rianoff, our ambassador, yesterday with the C9. So there's everything that you need in the way of support for your customers. So there's never really been a better time to cleanse yourself and to help other people do this with you. Drinking gel. It's the foundation, it's the building block of our business. You know, no surprise why our aloe vera drinks make up the volume of sales that they do globally for us. You know, they work, they're the best. They change immune system and they help our body work at its absolute best. So I suspect you've been selling a lot of gel. Maybe it's not the original for you. It might be the berry or the peach. My personal favorite is the berry, and it's always a mini at the moment every single day. Kids vitamins, great value for helping children keep their immune system topped up. The bee pollen is popular. Lovely B vitamins. A lot of people take that as additional nutrition just to keep their everyday diet topped up. ImmuBlend, something extra to take specifically to aid the immune system. So, you know, Louise Riley often talks about in her training, some of our supplements are seasonal for people. You know, we've got supplements where our customers will want to use them every day, all day. Doesn't matter what season it is. And then you'll have other supplements where your customers might want to layer on for a particular season. So at the moment, we're seeing a lot of people start to use ImmuBlend more, or we're starting to see people use ImmuBlend for the first time. And that is in a direct response to what's happening in the world and people wanting extra to boost immune system. The shakes. You know, they're always a follow-on from the C9, but they're a great healthy snack. Now, I haven't got children, but there's a few people in my team who are like, Gemma, it is hard, you know, to have 3 stable meals a day for a full family when you're building a business, homeschooling, trying to keep your employer happy as well. So sometimes shakes are a great way of snacking, or they are a great solution to a quick breakfast in busy households. And of course, the tri-pack. You know, we know our gel is great, but if we want our customers to have a good experience and for their immune system to be strong, it is about ensuring that our customers understand the importance of 100 mils a day, you know, a month's supply, the tri-pack. And for some customers, it's about a crate of the minis, you know, 12 bottles, 330 mils in the minis. But we still see the tri-pack being the most popular option. So these are some of the best-selling products, and there's probably no surprises there. So let's just have a little look at a combination of using some of these lockdown products and how quickly you can hit 4cc. So 8 people, that's it, just 8 people who you know, or you love, or you care about, or who you have come into contact with, who would like a boost of their immune system. They would like to have a superb healthy tonic every single day for their body to be back in balance and to feel well. You know, just 8 people who want to drink gel, 2cc, over. You know, you look at it and you think, wow, halfway to 4 just off 8 people. And you know, and I know, if you've been building a business for a while with Forever, your gel drinkers don't just normally drink gel, because they do brush their teeth, they do wash their hair, they do use skincare, they use other household products. And you can make shopping more convenient and give them a better quality product 9 times out of 10 than what they're using at the moment. So let's just say you've got 8 people drinking gel, and that's all they want. You can see you're over halfway there. A C9. And this C9 might be yours for your own personal use. Remember, your 4cc doesn't always have to be achieved just through what you recommend to other people. Your own personal retailing and your own family use can be in there. 8 hand soaps. It's not unreasonable to think that your gel drinkers are going to want a good quality hand soap that's going to help either manage the condition of skin on their hands that is maybe causing them more challenge than it was before because of all the alcohol they've used off hand sanitizers, or because of the extra washing that they're doing. And the propolis cream is the perfect barrier repair cream, you know, that people want and are using. And then let's just look at ImmuBlend. If you've got 5 people who want to use ImmuBlend, it might be your gel drinkers want this, it might be different people want to use this and they just want to try the ImmuBlend before they try a gel. You know, ImmuBlend, its recommended retail price is under £14. Amazing value for a month's supply of a supplement. So you can see on screen there is one example of how to reach 4. If you want to break that down, because you're thinking, that still feels like a lot, so how would I pace that over a month? Let's look at how you could pace that over a month. 2 people a week drinking gel. Could you find 2 new people a week who would like to look better and feel better? You know, who are open to an investment of less than what a Costa coffee or a Starbucks or a takeaway coffee used to cost them when they could go out and do that. Could you find 2 people a week? C9, 1 a month. So even if you've done it yourself, do you think you could find 1 new person who you could share your experience and your story with? And what I will say about the C9 is accept that that's a hard product to share with somebody if you're not prepared to do it yourself. You know, our whole business is built around just share your experience. You know, so people want to know what your experience was like so that they then trust you, or they hear something in your story, your experience that they can relate to. So the only thing I would say about the C9 is if you've not done one yourself and you really want to build a business with arguably one of our highest income generating products, just do the cleanse, do it, enjoy it, have your own experience, and then go on a journey of sharing your experience with other people. Breaking down, you know, some of those other products, the hand soap, the propolis cream, the ImmuBlend, you can see, you know, 2 a week of each item. So not much. And how often, you know, if you're somebody who's been in the business for a while and maybe you've been a bit inconsistent with your 4cc, or it troubles you that you never get it done that quickly in the month and you leave it till the last minute, and then by the 26th of the month you put yourself into a state of panic to go and get your work done. You know, if we really plan our month well and we think about where we want to go, so now we start thinking now about June and we plan ahead, this will be a breeze. It will be an absolute breeze as long as you're using our products and you're following the systems within the First Steps to Manager book. What I really want to do on this training by showing these slides is I'm trying as best I can this morning to really help you push through any glass ceiling that you've got around your own activity. Because very often people are way capable of more, but they choose to limit themselves with a number. Rather than saying, let's just maximize the time we've got available. Let's be clear on where our short-term and our long-term goal is going to be, and let's get to work and do it. And this is the only difference between those who month in, month out are breezing their 4cc, or, you know, when you hear people say, oh, I've done it in the first couple of days of the month, they're just organized. They're just organized, and they're in what I like to describe as a flow. You know, they're flowing like a normal retailing sales business would flow. Example number 2, there you go. You know, if you want to just take a selection of our lockdown products and, you know, you want to look at a combination of sales a different way, there's a different combination. Now, these are just examples around the lockdown bestsellers. You know, you've got a whole assortment. You've got hundreds of products in your catalogue to choose from. So your starting point will always be, what do I use? What do I use? What's my favourite? Because your success is going to be built around what you use, because that's what people will feel, they'll trust, they'll buy into. So if there's something on that screen that you're not using, please don't give yourself a hard time about you haven't got a connection to a kid's vitamin or an ImmuBlend. Think about what you do use. For you, this might be your favorite product is probiotic. It might be your favorite product is the biocellulose mask. So really take the concept of how we're breaking this down, but feel brave enough to replace any products that don't work for you on these slides with the products that do. Yeah, and just adopt that same strategy. The breakdown there of what you'd need to do, you know, I mean, you can see if you take this over a month, it's a tiny amount. It's a tiny amount. The profit. The benefit of building a 4cc business in retail. So the benefit of you saying, yes, I use these products personally, and I'm going to challenge myself to say, right, I've got my own personal use, but then what I'm going to challenge myself to do is always make sure that I'm doing 4cc of retail, you know, with customers spending money. The benefit of you doing that is you will be well paid for your time. You know, we are one of the best paid retail businesses you'll find. Very few retailers work with a profit margin of 35 to 48%. And I can say that with confidence because I've come from the retailing industry and spent 18 years in it in total before joining Forever. So even as an assistant supervisor, so even when you are just getting started, by following our basic plan, £336 is what's available to you. This is if you're just doing the minimums that I've shown. Supervisor, because you had that 3% pay rise, $360. As an assistant manager, you're accessing 43% discount off the product. So you might be doing exactly the same work that you were doing as an assistant supervisor or as a supervisor, but you're now being paid $400. And at manager, you know, even if you've come into this business to be a retailer, open your mind to what manager can give you if you haven't so far, because what is available for you is a much higher return on your time because you're getting that 48% discount. So £440, you know, so one case credit as a manager, £110 of profit. Now you can see the impact of that over the year. You know, you can see the impact of just being laser focused on what you want to recommend, what you want to use, and who you want to serve as your handful or two of regular customers, anywhere between £4,000 to just over £5,000 a year. What difference would this make to you? You know, what difference would looking at your diary and your time and saying, do you know what, after Gemma's training, I think I'm going to challenge myself to put another 4cc of retail on my business, or, you know, I'm going to have a talk to my regular customers and I'm just going to look to see what else I've got in my product assortment that they're buying somewhere else to start increasing the average transaction spend of a customer. You know, it's game changing. 4,000 a year, that's a lot of money. And this is before you even start with a business building income that once you get to supervisor is open to you. Now, the other product that I wanted to talk about before we catch up with our two speakers this morning is this. You know, it's the slide that you see every single session that we do a business presentation. You know, it was the slide that Diana Page was talking about in her two business presentations yesterday at midday and 8:30 last night. And it's the Start Your Journey pack. You know, you can achieve your 4cc not just through retail, but through recruitment. And this is one of our best products. You know, the more we start thinking about the Start Your Journey pack as a product and offering it out to our customers as a product, and thinking about the value of customers not just having access to a product, but having access to all of those extra things like a global trading license, like a proven blueprint, having a web store, having a mentor, getting the extra material and being part of a community. This can be life-changing for people. But if you start making sponsoring part of your basic month in, month out discipline to achieving your 4cc, and you really challenge yourself to say, do you know what, every month I'm just going to find one person who has a Start Your Journey pack. And some months that might be a customer who wants a wholesale discount of 35%, and it's just better value for them to buy a pack. This will have a huge impact on your business, and you are still paid on sponsoring. So not only are you building up your case credits, you're being paid the profit off that transaction of £199.75. And as an assistant supervisor, it's £39, all the way up to manager, it's £65. So remember, 2cc comes in off this box, even though there's only 1.177 cc's worth of products. So if you haven't thought about linking this in within your strategy to get to 4, or to really lift your performance to 8 or to 12 or to 16, and you know, it's up to you what you want. It's an uncapped opportunity. You just get paid for the time you put in. So if you've got goals on your goal board, or you've got something short term for your family that you want to achieve, or maybe for yourself personally, it is about saying, right, I can turn the tap on as much as I want. I can turn it off when I want. You're in control of that. And you could be paid every single day just by sharing more products in your business and starting to use the Start Your Journey pack as part of your options. Okay, so I'm just going to bring my screen down. I'm just going to make sure I don't hit off. Those of you who know me know I'm not the best when it comes to technology. And I'm going to introduce our first speaker. So our first speaker is new to the business. He's been working with Forever for 3-4 months now. From the off, achieved 4cc. So it's been a success habit from month 1. Over a 3-month period, following that discipline and then helping other people do the same, he's achieved supervisor. So we've got a new supervisor who has used the product, shared the product, started to share the business, and just showed those people what he's been doing. So I'm going to introduce you now to Easdon. So Easdon, I'm going to get you to share your camera and your sound, please. Let's see if we can get technology to work. Okay, Easdon.
I'm here. I'm sorry. It's just like Murphy. Do you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Have you
Okay.
got a little... Oh, yes, we can see you.
Sorry, it was just Murphy. The minute that you said I'm coming on screen, my Forever parcel just arrived.
Now that is a quality problem to have. FedEx at the door with more products for customers. So Istvan, I would love you to share with us this morning more about your story, and then we're keen to understand a little bit more about what you're doing. So kick us off by telling us a little bit about you and your background.
Okay, thank you. How long do we've got? So, I mean, you've got
So,
lunch and dinner ready?
yeah, no, you know, gosh, trainings with me are dangerous because I could literally fill up the whole day. We're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes together. So, you know, take a few minutes, 5 minutes if you need it, to share with us more about you.
Thank you, Gemma. I really appreciate your training because I just picked a new few things up. So I always follow the training. So that was really, really good. And I'm very, very happy that you mentioned the First Steps to Manager book, because this became my Bible in this business. It's just because it's exactly what I need if I want to see further that how can I plan the next month or the month after. I can see what I need to do. So I keep telling to my friends who's working with me to please keep that one in hand.
Yeah.
And also I always ask them to keep that one in hand, the Forever Business Owner order form.
Yeah.
Because actually that gives me an idea, because there's two prices that I really, really interested in. There's the wholesale price and there's the retail price. So if somebody places an order, I can immediately count how much money I made within 5 minutes. So these two is my Bible. My background is everything really. I didn't find my place until about 25 years oldish. I've been trained and learned to be an actor in Hungary, and I left it when I was 18. It just wasn't for me. I really liked it, but it wasn't for me. And I became a chef, and I was working in different businesses, made really good friends, and I discovered traveling. So the first, when it came to me, the Forever business, it was through traveling and the C9 program. Because as a chef, I became a little bit overweight. Never.
Yeah, but I bet you made some nice food, and I bet it tastes good at the
Well,
time.
just ask my friends. However, yeah, 114 kilogram that I went up to. So I had a few guests who we had really good relationship with, and one of them, that was 2007, I think. He was asking me that, do I want to lose weight, because he saw my struggle. I mean, you know, you're chatting all the time, trying different diets and crash diets or liquid diets, or not eating at all, or just cutting out carbohydrates. So I've tried basically everything. Nothing ever worked. Well, some of them did, but I dropped a few kilograms. Then when I stopped it, it came back. So this is how I came across it Forever. I've been offered a C9 program, and it was mind-blowing. And I'm not joking. It was like, wow. In 9 days, first of all, I felt more energized. I had more energy than before, so it was really weird to take some natural supplements, and this could be the effect. And it got me interested, really, that if the products are really powerful, that what they got into it. And in Hungary, I became a supervisor. However, it took me 10 months in Hungary. And it's because I was very stubborn. And I was. My sponsor told me what to do, and opposite. Like, I not on purpose, but opposite. I've done the completely different direction. So that was a big learning curve for me. However, I managed to be supervisor, and I earned quite good of money. However, circumstances changed. I moved to to England 7 years ago. I didn't really speak English, so I had to pick up English here very quickly. I got into my old job to cook. And then my best friend, who lives just minutes away from me, we were talking about that we would like to work again in the forever business. So we were waiting a year to get started because we had to wait to get the best sponsor. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I got started, and that was the most exciting part. I got started on the 2nd of March or 3rd of March. And I already had the passion about the products. I already had the knowledge about the products. So I had a little head start. However, I didn't really know too many people in England. Yeah. And within 3.5 weeks, with the help of my friend, I reached supervisor. And I was like jaw dropping that what it took before years ago, yeah, got 10 months nearly. It was 3.5 weeks. And that showed me the power of, for example, the C9, because I had experience with it. Immediately I had 3 or 4 people who was in my product launch, and they just ordered it. Yeah. So that was one very good encouragement for me to go further. And the most exciting thing about it is the money. You know, it's I'm a man, I love to travel, and well, with this lockdown, we're not really, but I imagine I am. And yeah, my major job, I'm working in sales. I love sales, I love my job, I love my colleagues, but it just doesn't give me the flexibility to travel the world, doesn't give me the amount of money. So within my first month, and I think it's not the best example because I really wanted to do this, but within my first month, I didn't make 4cc, I made 2175. And it became something financially that I could see that if you put yourself or step forward as an assistant supervisor, and you just talk about your passion, how much do you like the products, what's your favorite. I always just talk about the products that I imagine that my friend would like. I'm not trying to push anything for them. I just want to help them. Yeah, it gained me £430 in the first month. And I was very, very proud of it. Sorry.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, first of all, a massive congratulations on, you know, you made a decision after many years of, you were with Forever years ago in Hungary, obviously relocated country, started a new way of life, a friend in your local area. So I know you're based in Hove near Brighton, yes. You know, a local friend who was also, am I right in saying she's Hungarian?
Yeah, she's Hungarian too.
Yeah. So she's Hungarian, and, you know, it was the right time. You know, it was the right time for you to build, and, you know, you knew that we had an amazing product range and a great marketing plan. And I think, you know, one of the reasons why I was keen to talk to you this morning is I think you show just what's possible from the off in the business. And you were quite clear about what you needed to earn, what you wanted to earn. You're very clear on what flexibility you want for your future, for your family, and this is your vehicle. And, you know, this has only been possible because of your experience with a product that has significantly changed your well-being, which is our C9. And you know, the danger sometimes when we talk about 4cc is, for some people, that is their mountain that they need to climb. You know, that's their mountain at that moment that they need to tackle. And that's what it was for me in December 2013. You know, if you'd said to me back then, even as a new supervisor, right, Gemma, you're going to do 21 and you're going to use the C9, I couldn't have dealt with it. You know, that would have been me done. 4cc was the size of the mountain that I knew that's going to tick off the part on my plan that's going to get me stepping through this month to then go and build on that the next month. For you, you were very clear that actually you wanted your mountain to be a little bit higher, and you were going to go out there and you were going to put in the time you had. You didn't really know what that it was going to be worth 21 CCTU in a month.
Sorry to interrupt with that one.
No.
Oh, I wasn't planning to do that much of points or credit cases. I was just so passionate about it that I do, again, something that I really love. I love talking to people. I'm a very social butterfly, which you can imagine that this circumstance, to sit in a house, what does it mean for me? So, I mean, like every night out, talking to my friends, meeting up. And most of the points came online because I had to transfer myself to be online. And it was just such a big example because I've always been an offline person. I always like to get in, you know, physically get in touch with people and just chat to them. I never imagined that online can be work.
And I do think you raise such a good point. You know, at this moment in time, you know, COVID-19 has forced us, whether we've liked it or not, to move to be 100% online. And that can bring its own challenges, but it also brings huge opportunity. And, you know, I come back to a favorite quote that my other half, Gary, has said a number of times over this last 8 weeks, either to me or in training, which is you either see obstacle or you see opportunity. But where there is an obstacle, there is an opportunity. And online and going 100% online, there's no two ways about it. It simplified our business. And for those who are working it and embracing it, generally the results are coming a lot quicker. Now, I need to hop over and talk to Debbie Barrett. I could sit and talk to you all day. I really, really could. And there's so much from your story that we can learn from. Literally in 1 minute or less, if you had one top tip to give to today's listeners, we've got 460 people on, so it's a busy call. So you see, notice I didn't say that before. Saying that at the end. What would be your one top tip to listeners today to help them with anything that you've done that they could benefit from?
I've got actually 3, and I'm not going to specify it. Top tip number 1. Listen to your sponsor, because your sponsor is the base. So they will give the best shot for you. Secondly, take very, very seriously your who do you know list. Like everybody else doing it.
Love that. Love how it's on paper and pen. Good old fashioned. Love it, love it, love it. And top tip number 3.
Be consistent. Touch your business every day, even if it's just an hour. That's the major.
Super. Well, look, thank you so much. We really look forward to seeing you when we can at a live event, be pinned as a supervisor. And I have no doubt that by the time that comes, we're going to be seeing you pick up other pins as well. Well done to you and to your team who are following in your footsteps. Take care.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay, so we're going to move to our next speaker. Debbie Barrett, are you there?
Hi, Gemma. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Right, Debs, you've got a totally different story.
Yes.
Yes, so
my background is that I first came across the products. It was 5 years ago that I was introduced to the products. I fell in love with them. I was offered the opportunity a couple of times by the lady who introduced me, but it just wasn't, I never wanted to have a business. I never had desires like that to build something for myself. But I did prick my ears up when she said that you could have a 35% discount. So I was that person who thought, I want to invest in a skincare box, so I may as well spend £200 to get my skincare box cheaper. And that was literally as straightforward as it needed to be for me. Wasn't interested in the marketing plan, didn't even take a look. But what I was very aware of is that straight away I was getting my products with a significant discount. And obviously when I shared them with my friends and my family, because I love them so much, I was able to help them, and in the process also earn that extra, what I called splash cash, because at the time, you see, I was a teacher, I was pregnant with my second child, I'd moved house, so my kitchen, my living room, everything was covered in boxes. I really didn't want anything that was going to cause any sort of headache or anything, but I was very mindful of the future. I had a house of things that I wanted to decorate and buy nice things for. I was about to go on maternity leave, and I wanted to just have that financial independence to spend money in a guilt-free kind of way, whether that was coffee and cake with my friends or whether it was on stuff for the house or stuff for me. So that's what I did, and I really enjoyed it. So I actually joined the business in July 2015. My son came along in October 2015, but I didn't stop. I just didn't, it wasn't hard work to talk to people that I cared about things that I was using and loving. So I carried on with my business, and that splash cash was really nice. I knew I could turn the tap on, and like you said, you can turn the tap on and retail a bit more, and that was lovely. So I was actually 4cc active from the October 2015, not because I knew that anything about it, just because that was the volume that I was selling, and I liked the income I was getting with it. But over the course of time, I did actually pay a bit more attention. I was immersed in this environment where everyone was very positive. I enjoyed spending time with people in Forever. And I started to become aware of the marketing plan and of being 4cc active and moving through the marketing plan. And also using C9 as a vehicle in February 2016, I actually moved through to supervisor on the marketing plan. And that was great because, well, I was getting paid more for the same loyal customers who were buying gels from me. I was just getting paid more, and it was easy to sort of look after the people that had been buying from me already for several months. So that was my sort of main focus at the time, was just to keep looking after those people. But I'd also started to introduce people to the concept of they could have their products cheaper as well. So I was having a few new people join the team. And actually what I found was, you know, I was helping them as well achieve, you know, a bit of splash cash, or in some cases, you know, they were moving through the marketing plan. And I thought, right, I've really got to stay one step ahead. I need to access this team leading bonus. So I need to be 4cc active. And it became something that I really sort of, from a pride perspective, I had to do. But by focusing on those regular kind of monthly consumable products like the gels, and then always asking people if I could help them with anything else, you know, like the propolis cream and the hand wash and things like that, you know, I did find that 4cc was just a habit that I kind of got into. And by the end of the first week in the month, I wanted to be 4cc active. So I just didn't have that headache. I didn't worry about whether I was going to be able to get my team leading bonus this month or not. So that was fine, and I did move through the marketing plan to assistant manager by June of 2016. But then I kind of ran out of steam because people in my team were just copying what I was doing, which was introducing people who wanted their products cheaper. They might be doing 4cc or just having a little bit of splash cash from their retail business. They were having a lot of fun, and it was great, and we had a lovely vibe in the community, but no one was really recruiting or sponsoring, because that wasn't really what I came into it for. But then I found that I ground to a halt. I couldn't get any further than assistant manager because there just wasn't any duplication at depth. So what I decided in January 2018 was that I needed to sort of start moving through the marketing plan properly. I was almost rebuilding my business from scratch, really, because, you know, 4cc, when people are doing it for fun and a bit of extra, there's no kind of significant thing attached to it, so it doesn't matter if you don't do it, I suppose. And I got to the stage in January 2018. I decided, right, enough's enough. I'm going to do this business properly. I want manager, I want everything and beyond. So I'm going to start, you know, sponsoring people in earnest. So over the course of that year, I did do exactly that, and I got to manager in June 2018. Again, there was still a very heavy weighting on the people that were getting their products cheaper with their Start Your Journey pack rather than anything else. I had a lot of retailers as well, which was absolutely great. I got to manager, and I kind of thought everything would just carry on going. You know, the next steps, obviously, Eagle and Chairman's Bonus, and obviously this
I remember those conversations. Also, now I'm a manager, and the next step is I'll just go Eagle.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, but it's definitely a bit of extra work. We need to find another gear, but I remember those, Debbie.
Yeah, and we started to work really closely together because I really wanted to unlock the full potential of the marketing plan. It sort of now became an issue of pride with me. You know, I'd really enjoyed my business, and actually in the course of this time, it had actually allowed me to retire from teaching. So I haven't taught for 3 years. You know, I've now been doing this flexibly around the children for 3 years, and it's been absolutely brilliant. But I was getting that sense of I need to be able to do this for myself, for my own personal satisfaction. I did want to unlock everything, and you know, and I thought, why shouldn't I do it? So I've started to take it a lot more seriously, and I decided that I have to start talking to people about the business properly, and the people that are coming on board, I need to show them how easy it is to do 4cc. And as soon as the box changed from being 1.177 to 2cc, it became that much easier to show to people in my team, look, you don't have to be 4cc active to bring someone on board and show them how to be 4cc active. You just need to do a really healthy balance of use some products, retail some products, and also introduce people to the business. Now, you never know what they're going to want, because I was that person who literally just wanted my products cheaper. I didn't even look at the marketing plan. I just said, is it literally no strings attached and I'll get 35% discount? Fine, sign me up. So I was that easy to kind of convince. I didn't need convincing. I convinced myself. But other people, obviously, some people want that discount. Some people want splash cash. Some people want absolutely everything on the marketing plan and more. And I think sometimes 4cc can become a stumbling block for them. So once I was able to sort of show people that by actually just introducing people to the concept of products cheaper and a few £100s extra, that was when the 4cc and duplication started to actually be unlocked. And now, you know, we've got a team with people who are easily doing their 4cc before the middle of the month, which means they can enjoy the rest of their month. They can enjoy the prospecting activity they're doing and the retailing activity they're doing now, knowing it's setting themselves up for the following month and beyond. So yeah, 4cc has been critical, but it's meant different things at different times of my business. And now obviously that I'm finally listening to my upline, so apologies, yes, great advice, Easdon. Listen to your upline, because they do actually know what they're talking about. Yeah,
you've got Beth on here and me and the other, but listen, what you're achieving, seriously, Debs, this is what you and your team are doing. And I think what's been lovely about what you've shared is you're showing that actually if you can embrace the Start Your Journey pack with some product recommendation, shopping from your own shop for your family's use, this is something that really comfortably you can find that flow with, you know, and it's so rewarding to see when that duplicates what that can mean, and now you can kind of see that gate to Eagle Manager just swing its way open to say, okay, there's the pathway. And of course it will always take work, you know, we're working a business, we're at work, you know, so it is hard work at times, but 100%, you know, the system that we've got, you're living proof that it works brilliantly when you embrace those 3 areas.
Definitely. And I mean, I don't regret. I mean, I think we learn from our mistakes, don't we? And certainly, you know, I had ambitions at one stage to just always do my 4cc on the regular kind of monthly consumables, because that meant that it was done at the start of the month and it was easy. I think that then led to me having naturally comfortable kind of conversations with my prospects, because it wasn't desperate that they joined me. And so everything's always felt very natural and very relaxed and very comfortable. But what I've also found is that those 4cc regular gel drinkers have over the course of time wanted their products cheaper, and some of them have gone on to actually build a business they never thought they wanted, but they're really enjoying what they get from the business. So I think you know, a couple of you asked Easdon about top tips, and one of my top tips is to obviously to be able to share that box with the discount that attached to it freely to people, because you just don't know what's going to come from that. But another top tip is that you know, you really don't need to already be 4cc active to bring people on board. Bringing people on board will help you be halfway there, and then actually you're straight away, you can show people how to be 4cc active. So you don't need to wait until you've got 4cc worth of retail moving through your business before you start introducing people to the business. And then of course what you've got is a proper duplicating model to be able to show your team what to do for them to do, and people can be duplicating you within a week of getting started.
Brilliant top tip, Debbie, because so often we do think, oh, have I got to be at a particular point? Have I got to have ticked particular boxes before I can sponsor? And as you well know, and many people on this call will know from the size of the businesses they've got over the years with Forever, it's always much more fun with other people because it is a team sport, what we do.
Yeah, definitely.
Debbie, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really, really appreciate that. And that was packed with tips like Istvan. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Gemma.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of training. So we're at the 1 hour mark, bang on 12 o'clock. But what I will do now for anybody who wants to hang on is I'm just going to quickly have a look through the Q&A and I will pick those up. Now, bear with me. Because I am not the quickest with technology and stuff like that. So let me see what we've got. I can see there's a few people saying when I had the earlier slides up, could I remove the colour wheel? I didn't even know I had a colour wheel up. So I'm so sorry if that blocked the screen, but hopefully you got the gist of where we were going. Okay, do you have a suggestion on how to upsell multiple aloe drinking gels to customers for FBOs in countries such as the USA that don't carry tri-packs in their retail line? What I'd say is you don't need the company to put 3 gels in a box to make that a tri-pack. You make that decision within your business. So look, if you're in a country where you've not got a tri-pack, you can still go out there and say, I've got a tri-pack. Because it's your tri-pack, it's just the 3 gels. It might be that 6 bottles is the pack that you want to promote. So, you know, it's your business. Take control of it. Be creative with it. And we've often got a lot more power, you know, to build and to do things than sometimes we think. So, yeah, I'd encourage you there in the US with that. Just make it a tri-pack in terms of 3 bottles being sent. Sylvia, well chuffed, I've done my 4cc. Oh, and you did it by the 3rd of May, so congratulations, Sylvia. I'm now at nearly 6 already. You're about to do nutrition in lockdown masterclass with some ladies in your networking group. Well done, Sylvia, absolutely great. Let me just have a little scroll down and see a lot of comments about the colour wheel on my screen. Sorry about that. How exactly did you do this so quickly when you got started in England, Istvan? So I think we've kind of covered that in Istvan's full story, what activity he really used the C9 to build. And, you know, he talked about a launch. So he got, you know, remember, his friend who he's working with is Hungarian. So think about, you know, in your community, who is your ideal type of person to work with? Istvan had a bond, a friendship bond with his friend who lived local, who was also Hungarian. And then all they've done is they followed the steps and the first steps to manage a book by sharing products, you know, so embracing online launches, embracing writing down a who do you know list to invite people to look at the business. And I know that Istvan, you know, plugs in to company BPs, he plugs in to his team's business presentations regularly, you know, every week, just looking at putting a few more guests on to have a listen in so his business can duplicate. How have you done anything specifically to grow your business online? So that's a question from Kirsty. And what I would say, Kirsty, just linked to online is, both Debbie and Istvan have been doing this. I've been doing this myself. Many people on this call will have been doing it. It's letting virtual catch-ups happen and almost forgetting about the online aspect and just building the relationship with people of sharing products and sharing the business. You know, not putting pressure on yourself to think, oh, I need 10 people on a launch on Zoom, or I need, you know, 20 people. No, you don't. You need 1. And actually, if Zoom technology is too much for you or for your prospects, it's too technical, then, do you know, a messenger chat, a FaceTime chat, 1-to-1, or with a couple of people. It's just about really looking at sharing products consistently and being really consistent with having those conversations with people. As Jane Leach often says, you know, the mobile phone's best feature is the telephone, but very often we don't use it as a telephone. And this is a great time to be making calls and picking up with people. Because I mean, how grateful are people when you speak to them? Because, you know, life has become all about technology and social media, and sometimes just having a normal conversation is really appreciated. So, you know, making the phone your friend, and the more you do that, you know, the easier it's going to get and the more comfortable those conversations become. Okay, Sue, thank you so much for amazing training. I've been in forever, 24 years. Oh, Sue, you've been in for ages, and total respect. I'm like a baby compared to that at 7 years. So 24 years, and you've always done your 4cc plus. But this training this morning has really excited me to double my personal. Sue, it's people like you, you know, who are an absolute inspiration and make it possible for new people coming in to actually follow something that's worked. So we want to say thank you back to you, and we wish you every success with doubling up your CCs as well. So we've got somebody saying, but retailing, sometimes people say they don't like selling. If you're talking to people about the business and they say they don't like selling, then it is exploring with them. Do they like recommending things that they like? So have they ever recommended a film, a good restaurant? And it might be, you know, them just focusing on a smaller selection of products that they're using and they're feeling the benefit from. But, you know, we are a retail business, you know, that's what we are. You know, sales happening, you know, in any business is what keeps the business alive and thriving. But, you know, our best customer experiences come from personal recommendation. You know, our customers don't want to be sold to. They want us to genuinely care when we've got something to share with them that we believe could be of value. And if they are prepared to listen to our personal experience, very often the next step is they become a customer who either spends more or they're a new customer. Somebody asking for the slides, so I'll leave that to head office. They will normally pick stuff like that up and try and get that out there. Forever Knowledge is a great source for all of these trainings. The recording of this will go up on it, Forever Knowledge. How many items would you put in an experience pack? Lisa's asking that. Depends what you mean by experience pack, because at this moment in time, there's probably very few experience packs doing the rounds because of COVID-19 and health and safety. The benefit of a 60-day money-back guarantee is people can try, and if they're not happy with the products, we've got a no questions asked money-back guarantee. So I would say that's the better route than an experience pack at the minute. If it is a local drop or someone who you know, I would say think about what they need. You know, don't give them too much, because if you give somebody too much, it can be hard to make a decision, or they don't know where to start. But a handful of products, you know, a handful. It might just be 2 products is relevant. It might be 3, but no more than a handful. Was it propolis tablets on the slide we covered? No, it was bee pollen that we covered. How do you ascertain our customers of the benefits of the product, since we don't make medical claims? We've got amazing product training every week. So if you are not tuning in on a Thursday night at 8:10, very often they're actually led by Louise Riley, but then there's other experienced business owners and trainers will come on. The library of all of those is in Forever Knowledge. We are not a company who are here to fix medical problems. We are here to help people stay well. If people are looking for a solution to a problem, we may be able to help them, and we can do that by, you know, simply sharing what we love and use, and that person is welcome to try it for their health. But anything medical related, that's a GP's territory, and so, you know, that's absolutely not what we're about. But many of the questions you might have about a product are likely to be answered in the trainings on Forever Knowledge. And this week we've got Louise doing what products you can help your customer look at following a C9, and how you can help the customer really understand other products in the range. Sheila, thank you. Genuinely sharing the challenges, but having a variety of ways to do 4cc is always more comfortable. And now, Sheila, you are an experienced business owner, so you're spot on with that. Okay, I'm literally going to do 2 more because we're just doing a bit of overtime on Q&A here. Barbara is saying, have you come across any FBOs who started many years ago, made supervisor quickly, then stopped for a few years? Yes, lots. Thinking of giving it a go again and finding webinars like this very inspiring. Actually, Istvan has done it brilliantly. So Barbara, you know, if you're thinking of giving it a go again and getting going, there's never been a better time to get going. And a lot of people get to supervisor and stop, or assistant manager or manager or higher than that. You know, what we're never in control of as a business is what's going on in people's lives. Very often when people stop, it's for a genuine reason, that they've either got the income that they needed to do the thing that they joined Forever for, and it's been ticked off for them and their family, or sometimes life just gets in the way, and that might be career related, it could be family, it could be health. And this is what I love about Forever, is Rex gave us a very, very fair marketing plan that we can pick up, put down, and your promotion is never taken away from you. So the great news is, Barbara, if you haven't been active as a supervisor, you can get going and enjoy a 38% discount on the products. And if you choose to team build, you'll start to build up a team leading income, if you can also make sure you're 4cc active to access it. So go for it, go for it. Okay, let's just do one final check. How do you invite people to the BP? Obviously, we're not BP training at the minute. Just invite them to take a look. Ask them whether they're open-minded to earning an extra income. Are they open-minded to exploring a change or being part of something exciting? And if they are, have a quick call. Ask them what's important to them. Listen. We can't help everybody all of the time, but 9 times out of 10 we can. If you hear anything that they say that you think Forever could deliver, invite them to a business presentation. Take good care of them in terms of plugging them in, you know, by following up with them. Check in with them afterwards, ask them what they liked. And the more you do that, the more consistent you are, you'll team build. How do you manage 60-day money back guarantee at the moment? No different to before. So any returns, we just give head office a ring. Head office have been amazing. I have to say a massive thank you to them, but they have been amazing. Many of whom are working from home. The service level is first class. And it's exactly the same. You know, if you've got a product to return or a customer's not happy, ring distributor support and the support is there for you. Final question, and we're going to sign off, and this is the last one on the box. Is it safe to give out samples to friends and neighbours through their letterbox with my details? And what else can I include, please? Look, it is totally up to you, right? If you decide to go out and post things through a letterbox, it is up to you. It's your judgment call. It's your judgment call whether you're happy to do that for your own safety and whether you think the person on the receiving end would be happy to receive it, or whether they would be, you know, uncomfortable that it's been posted. So that is your call. The lockdown in the UK, because I think that is a UK question, it's gradually being lifted as it is around the world in some areas, but over the coming weeks there are likely to be more guidelines in place. But what I would say is, that's not an activity that I've focused on personally. It's not an activity that I've coached during this time. And what we are finding is just sticking to what's in that First Steps to Manager book, picking up the phone, speaking to people, doing virtual product sharing. There's a lot of quick, you know, success and duplication coming back. So don't be afraid to put that to one side if it doesn't feel right. Get into the lane of what's really duplicating strongly in the business at the moment, and you can come back to that. You know, your intuition will tell you whether it's right for you, but it's not my place this morning to answer that. So I hope that's okay. Right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much. I love doing trainings. I adore this business so much, but it wouldn't have been possible this morning without Debbie and without Istvan. So thank you to them again. Have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.